Hey guys, this is Austin, and today I'm here with a video going over what should be a pretty simple question. Can you actually game on a Mac? If you ever read the comments, you'll realize that if you ever mention the words gaming and Mac in the same sentence, people love to explain why that's a terrible idea, but surely it can't be that bad. The first thing is actually finding games that work on OS X. Take a look in the Mac App Store and you'll find a few games including Hitman and Civ 5, as well as quite a few classic titles like GTA San Andreas and Roller Coaster Tycoon, but not a huge variety of AAA games. Download OpenEMU and you'll find support for quite a few emulators including Game Boy, Genesis, and Super Nintendo, but still nothing all that new. Jump into Origin for Mac and you'll find SimCity and The Sims 3, along with a few older games like Batman, but you won't find any Battlefield or Crysis here. On the other hand, when I installed Steam, I was actually surprised. Right out of the box, over half my Steam library shows up just fine on OS X, including some big name titles like BioShock Infinite, Metro Last Light, and Tomb Raider. Admittedly, a lot of the games are indie titles, but there's still a pretty reasonable selection, including basically all Valve games. To make things at least somewhat fair, I tested with the late 2013 Mac Pro. Now, while this is by no means a gaming PC, as it's really made for things like photo and video editing, however it is rocking some pretty decent specs. Inside, we're looking at a 6-core Intel Xeon CPU clocked at 3.5 GHz, dual AMD FirePro D500 graphics cards, 32GB of RAM, and a 256GB SSD. Compare this to a gaming PC, and you'd be looking at something like a Core i7-4930K along with two Radeon R9 280 cards, which would be slightly faster, but also lose out on the workstation features. For the first game, we have The Walking Dead Season 2. While this is hardly an incredibly demanding game, when you crank up the settings and play it at 4K, it actually looks pretty nice. Playing through the latest episode, which I actually won't show to not spoil things if you guys haven't played it yet, I didn't have any issues at all. Everything played perfectly smoothly, just as if I was playing on Windows. Moving up to something just a little more demanding, we have Metro Last Light. I've already taken a look at this port running on SteamOS, and it's very similar on Mac. You've got the entire game in DLC, however the quality settings are pared down to an incredibly simple slider, which just drives the nerd in me crazy. Gameplay is fine, although the way OS X handles mouse acceleration does take a little getting used to, and even with the graphics maxed out, it's still not quite on par with a gaming PC. If you take off your PC Master Race hat though, it is completely playable. Next, we have BioShock Infinite, which seems to be a better port overall. Basically all of the settings are intact, allowing you to fine-tune the graphics, and once you turn on VSync, you would be hard-pressed to notice a major difference between playing on a Mac or PC. It certainly doesn't hurt that Infinite is a great-looking game regardless of platform, even all the way back to the last generation consoles. Probably the most impressive game I've tried on Mac is Tomb Raider. As a fully functioning port, you also get access to all the settings, and the graphics look great, running right up against the 60 frames per second VSync limit, which really helps with the screen tearing that you'll find otherwise. Unlike some DirectX games that have been ported to OpenGL, Tomb Raider hasn't lost much visual quality, with plenty of detail and correct textures and effects. Now of course, there's nothing stopping you from installing Windows via Boot Camp, which will immediately get you access to way more games. However, I've got to say I'm impressed with how many games actually work pretty well running natively in OS X. Don't get me wrong though, a Mac Pro is completely insane as a gaming PC, as you can build something better for much less if that's all you want to do with it. If you plan on getting a Mac and just want to do a little gaming with it though, I think it's totally possible. So what do you guys think about gaming on a Mac? Let me know in the comments below, and be sure to hit up that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.